But there's news for you in the next section. That even if some do not obey the word, ladies, you might want to highlight that part. It's not an option. He's saying here, even if he is an idiot, even if he's not doing everything right, you're still going to submit. Now, you're going to submit morally right. You're not going to do stuff if he says he wants you to do something that's not morally correct. You don't do that. But this is saying, even if he didn't act it right, you still submit. As a matter of fact, when Peter was writing this, he wrote this with the assumption that everybody was saved. He's not really talking about an unsaved person here, because a saved person would obey the word. But I want you to notice the principle that is here. He says, even if some do not obey the word, they without a word. Ladies, y'all catch that? Without a word. Say it one more time. I said it to that section, I want to say it to this section. I want every lady to look at me. Without a word. Now, ladies, I want you to repeat after me. Without. That ain't good enough. See, when y'all leave here today, it's something y'all gonna say publicly. And it comes straight out of the Bible. So I didn't make this up. You ready? Without a word. Y'all gonna say it with a conviction. We're gonna try it one more time. Without a word. Husbands, don't you remind her that she said this. Let God work on this. Don't bring it up. Leave it alone. Does this mean that she's not going to have a word? She'll probably have one right after church. But now that she's been saying it over and over, let's let the Holy Spirit go to work. I'm trying to help you in your marriage without a word. This is what happens when words come. Because I told you earlier, men and women are different. Have you noticed that men seem to be very competitive? We're kind of competitive. We don't like to be challenged. If you challenge us, we're going to try to beat you. So, ladies, here's the deal. Your brain allows you to communicate a little bit better than we do. I started studying brain. I said, no wonder Adrian can win every argument. I cannot talk. I get to the point where it's just like, well, I just start screaming. And then what we do? They just start yelling for no reason at all. I cannot talk, I talk loud. Without a word. The reason for without a word is because God just fixed men to focus in on one thing and one thing only. And when you start to talk to them, there's a warrior that comes up inside of the man. And when that warrior comes up, now he is determined to shut you up. He's not hearing what you have to say. No matter how right you are, he's not hearing that. He just wants you to hush. He can't hear you. He cannot hear you. You can talk all day. And the more you talk, the more focus he's going to be on what? On you and your mouth. When God is trying to show him something about what he needs to do, he can dismiss God because it's your mouth. And he can't do nothing but concentrate on your mouth. God fixed the man so he could really concentrate on something. If you'll be quiet, you'll get out of God's way. See, when you submit, guess what happens? In your submission, even though he may never say it, he may never articulate it, that man walks away going, because now he is confronted with himself and God, and you are out the way. So in the midst of his trying to mistreat you or figuring out a way to hush you when there's nothing to hush, watch it, him trying to make you talk. Do you know why he's trying to make you talk? Because now the Holy Spirit is starting to convict him on what's wrong with him. And he don't like that. So he'll keep after you, trying to make you say something. Trying to get a reaction out of you. The reason he's trying to get that reaction is so he can take God out of the equation. Satan is school, man. It's Satan that has energized this world system that causes a man to try to do these things. Now, ladies, I'm not talking about the silent treatment. See, you can shut up and still be talking. And I know some of y'all didn't go this far. I'm just going to shut Show you what the Bible says. He didn't hear it. Just be quiet. I'm going to show you how you be quiet in just a minute. Alright? So without a word, maybe one by the conduct of the wife. So, first of all, submission looks like this. It's not based on what you say, ladies. It's based on how you conduct yourself. You may shut up, but your body language will say a lot. What you do will say a whole lot. It's all in how you conduct yourself. Your prayer to God ought to be, how can I remain calm? Can I tell you real quick how the prayer works? You keep talking to God about how can I remain calm. You make up in your mind that you want to be submissive, and you go to God and you plan. You know what? I'm going to do this at least 3 or 4 times a day. I'm simply going to stop and say, God, help me to submit and to be calm. Now this is the way the prayer works. All right? Because you keep reminding yourself. You hear what I just said? You actually have a conversation with God, but you're reminding yourself to remain calm, so that when it's time for you to remain calm, you can, because you just got to remind yourself to remain calm. That's the power of prayer. It's having a talk with Daddy, and while you're talking with Daddy, you know that Daddy's telling you, remain calm. I'm with you. I got you. I told you to remain calm. So that when that time comes up where you are just about to explode, you remember I just had a conversation with Daddy and he told me to remain calm. Why? Because I have a warrior in front of me. And ladies, you all want a warrior.
Yes.
That's what you want. You don't want a weak, sissified man. You're not looking for that dude that's running behind you going, whatever you say, whatever you say, whatever you say. That's not what you want. You want a real man. But if you got a real man, don't challenge him. Let him be the warrior God made him be. So, by the conduct and not the mouth, there should be less mouth. Less mouth and better conduct. So he says, this is what's going to happen. When they observe your chaste conduct accompanied by fear, your reverence for God is what the man needs to see. That way, he can't get mad at you. He got to do like I. The woman you gave me has caused me great consternation. God will deal with him on that. You make sure that you have a reverence for God. Now, how many of you ladies in here believe that God speaks to you through the word? Okay, act like it. So then, here comes verse 3. Now, for verse 3, I like to say, don't let your physical appearance manipulate a man. Do not let your adornment be merely outward, arranging the hair, wearing gold, putting on fine apparel. Now, he's not saying, don't look your best. What he's saying here is, don't let this be the end all of who you are. Don't think that because you look good, that he's going to act like because you look good. Hey, I'm going to tell you the truth. After a while, by and by, when the morning comes, he's going to wake up one day and you'll be the same person he's been looking at for years. There's got to be more to you than a pretty face. It'll work for a little while. That's probably how you got it. He didn't know nothing about you, but you had a pretty face. But after a while, there needs to be more than just a pretty face. So he says, rather, in verse 4, let it be the hidden person of the heart. Let him see the hidden person, not the one that everybody sees on the outside. You let your husband see who you really are on the inside. Because when he sees who you really are on the inside, the outside won't matter as much. Oh, y'all better catch that. When he knows how you really are on the inside, he doesn't worry or concern himself with the outside. This is where submission is so powerful. Because a lot of women are trying to manipulate their husbands through their looks. You know how I know they do this? When you get mad at them and you get ready to go to the store, what do? Yeah, you get all fixed up. You just want to walk on. You got your heels on, your makeup, your hair, and everything straight. And it's almost like, now, I'm going to walk out here and let all these other men see me. Like you really don't get back at him by doing that.